Hey there, I'm Natalie France and welcome to my YouTube channel, a space completely dedicated to the cultivation of self-love through the practice of yoga. If you haven't already done so, please do go ahead and subscribe to my channel and make sure you hit that bell so you get notified each time I upload a new video on a weekly basis. Today's video is going to be very much focused on loosening up through your shoulders and letting go of any burdens that you're currently holding on to. So I'll speak to you a bit more about that in just a moment. Welcome back. As I said, this yoga session is all about working your shoulders, loosen up any tension there, and in relation to your journey of self-love, it's very much about letting go of what no longer is required. So you can often hold on to things in life, they weigh you down, they tend to weigh you down in your shoulders as well, make you feel very heavy, can make you feel even closed off. This is all about kind of loosening up your shoulders, being a bit more open in your body language. Let's get started in a extended puppy stretch. So make sure as you come to kneel on your mat that your knees are directly underneath your hips. If for any reason that it feels too hard for you in terms of the actual mat itself, feel free to roll up your own mat so you have some extra padding underneath your knees. I'd say roll it up from behind rather than in front, just so you can take your hands out in front of you onto the mat itself. So knees directly underneath your hips. So the knees stay under your hips, so it's not a child's pose, okay? And you walk your hands out, nice and long, and rest your forehead down to the ground. Keep those elbows lifted off the ground. Feel that lengthening through your arms, through your back body, for that stretch in your shoulders. Close up your eyes and hold here. Have a moment to connect with your breathing. And tune in just your natural breath, but aim to inhale and exhale in and out of the nose as you hold in your extended puppy stretch. And as you remain here, connecting to your natural breath, again focusing on how you can release anything that's no longer required in your life. So when you hold on, it does weigh you down, it does kind of take its toll on the body, and often when we have things like stress, that can really play in your shoulders, into your upper back. And when you're holding on to something that doesn't need to be in your life anymore, that can in itself affect the mind, but also the body too. So as you hold your extended puppy stretch, have a moment to think about if there's anything that you can release and let go, and how you can use that to help you in your practice today. And then after your next exhale, walk your hands in a little bit, not too much, just walk them in a little bit towards you, okay? Take a deep inhale in. As you exhale, bring your body forwards into an upward facing dog. So make sure your hands come underneath your shoulders if you need to adjust it there. You can keep the knees down if you specifically want to, or go for your full upward facing dog with those knees off the ground. So lift your glutes up to the ceiling, I want to say. Hold here, shoulders back, open across the chest. Take a deep inhale in. As you exhale, knees down, press back into your heels. Inhale, exhale, bring it forwards to your modified or full upward facing dog. So basically knees down or up. Take an inhale, exhale, knees down, sit back into your heels. So you're going to keep working through that movement. Go at your own pace, but when I say go at your own pace, it doesn't mean speed it up. So keep it moderately, a moderate pace, not even moderately fast, kind of slightly slower than moderately fast, if you know what I mean. Just working through that movement, coming forwards, knees down or up, is up to you in your up facing dog, but make sure you open across the chest and shoulders back. Keep going here for a few more repetitions. Each time you go into that upward facing dog, whether your knees are down or off the ground, think about pressing your glute up to the ceiling, your glutes up to the ceiling, tension the glutes so you have that engagement of the whole body. Then the next time you come to your upward facing dog, stay in your upward facing dog, hold it here. Knees down or off the ground, choice is yours. Take a moment to hold here. Press your chest forwards, draw those shoulders back. Take a deep inhale in. As you exhale, tuck your toes, push up and back into a downward facing dog. Fingers widely spread, press into the pads of those fingertips. Feet hip distance apart. Press your heels down towards the ground. Externally rotate the shoulders. When I mean external, rather than the kind of arms rolling in, you want them to kind of roll away from the head. It might sound a bit weird, but you want to externally rotate the shoulders so you're rotating away from the head as opposed to in towards the head. If that feels like it's too much effort, that's absolutely fine. Just stay in your downward facing dog, okay? And from here, take your right leg up to sitting into a three-legged dog. Keep that right hip drop down to the ground and no need to open your hip out to the side as you hold it here. Take an inhale. Exhale, step your right foot in between your hands. Make sure that right knee is tracking over your ankle. Lift yourself up for an eagle arm stretch. So take your right hand out in front of you so your palm face up to the ceiling. Cross your left arm over, wrap the arms around so your palms meet in the middle, lift those shoulders up nice and high. It's such a good stretch for your shoulders and your upper body, your upper back. Hold it here. If it feels too much, then keep the hands to prayer to heart center, okay? But chest stays open. So option to have the palms prayer to heart center if your eagle arms feels too much. Take another inhale for your eagle arms. As you exhale, bring your hands to prayer to heart center. Then we can all bring our left heel down to the ground. Back of your right hand comes into your right thigh. Left hand comes over into your extended side angle. Either take your gaze up to the ceiling or down to the ground. What you want to be mindful of here is collapsing. So rather than the left shoulder coming forwards, keep rolling that left shoulder back. Also, the right hand is a support. It's not a resting aid. You should be able to lift that right hand up and down quite easily. You can stay in this version of an extended side angle, or feel free to go into bind. So that right arm goes underneath your right knee, the left hand goes behind. Grab hold of your left wrist with your right hand and hold here. Keep drawing that left shoulder back as you open out across the chest. You take one more inhale. As you exhale, bring your right hand down to the ground. Just take your left hand onto your hip for a moment and bring your right knee onto the ground. So your right knee is slightly underneath your hip for your gate pose, okay? Lift yourself up for this gate pose. Back of the left arm goes into left thigh, right hand comes over. So now you've got that lateral stretch going on to the other side. You can keep the left arm here or reach away, choice is yours. But make sure you keep rolling that right shoulder back as you hold it here and breathe into it. You take one more inhale. As you exhale, circle around and down. Bring your hands on to the mat. Step your right foot back into that high plank position. Deep inhale in. Exhale, modified or full chaturanga. So I'll start with modified, knees down, knees to toes. Come all the way down to the ground. Inhale, lift your chest up, shoulders back for cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, push up and back into a downward facing dog. Taking that onto the other side. Left leg up to ceiling. So again, drop your left hip down. No need to open up your hip here. Inhale. Exhale, step your left foot in between hands. Make sure that left knee is tracking over the ankle. Bring yourself up for those eagle arms once more. Left arm out in front, so palm faces up. Right arm crosses over. Wrap the arms down to your palms, meeting middle. Lift your shoulders up nice and high. Don't forget, you do also have that option to stay in a prayer position with your hands if that feels best for you. So feel that lovely deep stretch in your shoulders and your upper body. Also still working your thighs, so full body engagement here. If you're in your eagle arms, you can inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer to heart center. Then from here, drop your right heel down to the ground, so your right foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Just make sure your left heel is in line with the center of your right foot for that alignment. Back of the left arm comes onto your left thigh, right hand comes over into your extended side angle. So again, you can take your gaze up to the ceiling or down to your left toes. Make sure you roll the right shoulder back rather than rolling forwards. That left arm should be able to lift up nice and easy so you're not sinking down to the pose as you hold it here. Option to take the bind. So left arm goes underneath your left knee, right hand comes behind. Grab hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Keep drawing your left shoulder back, so no dropping down to the ground. Chest open, left and right shoulder draws back as you hold here. From wherever you are, take one more inhale. Exhale, bring the left hand down to the ground, so you can bring your left knee now underneath your hip, release the toes from underneath you. Take the back of your right arm onto your right leg, left hand comes over into your gate pose option to reach the right arm away as well. Again, make sure you're not leaning forwards, open up across that shoulder, left shoulder back, hold it here and breathe into your lateral stretch. Take one more inhale, exhale, circle the arms down, bring those hands back onto mat, step your left foot back for your vinyasa of your choice. So full or modified, I'm going to full this time, so inhale, exhale, lower down, 90-degree bend those elbows, inhale to come forwards into your upward facing dog, exhale, push up and back into a downward facing dog. Deep inhale in, exhale, release the knees down, release the toes, back into your extended puppy stretch, the knees under your hips, walk your hands out. Again, if you need that pad under your knees, feel free to go for it. Walk your hands out, rest your forehead down to the ground. So bring your mind back to what you need to release from your life today, what's weighing you down, what's taking its unnecessary stress in your shoulders and your upper back. What can you let go of? As you focus on that, bring your awareness back to your breathing. Deep inhales in through the nose. You can exhale out through the mouth to release at this moment. So allow your breathing to help you here. After your next exhale, plant your arms so the elbows onto the mat. Snake yourself forward so you're now lying on your mat for your Sphinx. Elbows underneath your shoulders, 11 o'clock position in those arms, legs together, press your toes, your pelvis and your arms into the mat. Exhale to lift up nice and high, shoulders back, chest open as you hold it here. Breathe into your Sphinx. You can close off the eyes to take your focus inwards. You can bring that awareness back to what you need to let go of. Choice is yours. Take a moment to hold here in your Sphinx. Deep inhale in, exhale, bring yourself back down to the ground. Take your hands out either side of you into a cactus shape, then bring your right ear onto the mat. From here, roll onto your right side, so your left leg comes on top of your right leg. Either keep the left leg where it is, or take your left foot behind, so you have that bend in your left knee. Knee ideally points up to ceiling, but make sure your foot is supported with the ground. Don't just hover it in mid-air. If you're going to do that, then you're best off keeping your left leg on top of the right. Then you lift the palm of your left hand as if you had a ball underneath the palm of your hand. So your fingers stay pressed into the mat. Hold here and breathe into that stretch. It might feel awkward, but it's such a good one to release tension from your shoulders. Hold it here for the moment. You can close up your eyes as you breathe into it. You take one more inhale. As you exhale, press that left palm down, bring yourself back to lay on your mat. This time, if it's okay if you can move into locust, otherwise go back to the Sphinx. Okay, so if locust isn't for you, go back to Sphinx. This time you can interlace your fingers behind you, press your palms together, take a deep inhale in. As you exhale, press your pelvis into mat, draw your arms away from body, lift your head and chest up. Option to lift the feet up as well, but you can keep the feet down if you want. It's such a good stretch, again, for the shoulders. Hold it here, breathe into it. Take one more inhale. Exhale to release yourself back down. Have a quick wiggle of those hips from side to side. Into that shoulder opening stretch now on the other side. So first of all, take your hands either side into a cactus shape. Then bring your left ear onto the mat. Roll onto your left side so your right leg either stays on top, or feel free to take your right foot behind so your knee bends up to the ceiling and you have your foot firmly pressed on the ground. Lift the palm of your right hand, so keep the fingers pressed down as if you had a ball, like a tennis ball underneath your right hand. Hold here. Feel free to close up the eyes, breathe into that stretch. You should feel it in the left side here, so with that cactus shaped hand, so intense, but you also get a stretch in the right side too by lifting that palm off the ground. Hold and breathe into the intensity in your shoulders. You take one more inhale. When you exhale, press that right palm back down to the ground. Bring yourself on to the mat once more, okay? And then a final option for a back bend here into bow pose. So you can do Sphinx again, you can do Locust again, or you can come into bow pose now. So bring a bend into your knees, so make sure your knees are still hip distance apart and parallel. Take your hands to go around the outside of the ankles. Deep inhale in. As you exhale, lift your head, chest and thighs off the ground, and hold it here, and breathe into your bow pose. So it's such a good chest opening, shoulder release. Very intense though, but hold here. Take one more inhale, whether you're in Locust, Sphinx or bow. Release down. Take one hand on top of the other. Raise your head into your hands. Wiggle those hips from side to side. Bringing yourself back to stillness. Take one hand either side of the body. Press yourself up onto your knees into a tabletop. So hands under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Take a deep inhale in. As you exhale, round through your back into an angry cat. Hold your angry cat to counteract your back bending. Stay here, drop your head down, tuck your tailbone under and breathe into your back body. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, release yourself back to a neutral spine. Sit onto your heels and then swivel around so you come to a crossed position facing back towards me, effectively. In your cross-legged position, bring your hands to prayer to heart center. Make that prayer count. So Anjali Mudra, press the palms in towards one another, thumbs against your sternum, elbows out to side, shoulders relax. Close off the eyes. Follow my guidance with your ears rather than looking at the screen if you can. As you inhale, raise your palms to prayer above the head. Shoulders stay away from the ears. As you exhale, bring the palms to prayer back to heart center. Feel the energy drawing up and down. Inhale, raise the hands to prayer above the head. Exhale, bring the hands to prayer to heart center. Do this a couple more times at your own pace. There's no need to go too quickly here. It can be as slow as you like. You inhale, palms above the head. You exhale, the hands down. So do this one more time, raising your hands above. And the next time you bring your hands back down to heart center, you're ending there. So just firmly press those palms together, thumb against the sternum, thumbs against the sternum, elbows out to the side, shoulders relaxed, drop your head down. Take one more moment to focus on what you can release or what you would like to release from your life that's currently weighing you down, stressing you out. Just being a burden as a whole. We hold those burdens in our shoulders, in our upper back. You've just spent a moment now, a few moments, stretching and releasing there. So what you've released physically, you can, from the body, you can release mentally from your mind and also literally from your life. Gently drop your chin to chest. Take your gaze down behind closed eyes, lower the gaze. Thank yourself for practicing with me today on the mats. I thank you too. You take one more inhale in through the nose. Deep exhale out through the mouth to release. Look, open the eyes and release your gazes down. Then slowly lift that gaze up. Thank you. I really do hope you enjoyed today's session. You feel a bit loose in the shoulders and whatever it is that you need to release from your life, go forth and do that. Until next time, take care of yourself. Bye.